America. I am sorry to report tonight that border security and common sense have died alone in a federal courtroom. A federal judge has struck down legislation aimed at punishing those who do business with illegal immigrants. So here's the point tonight. There are cities and towns across the country that are desperately trying to hold their heads above water, trying to save themselves by stopping illegal immigration because Washington won't. But now it seems our own justice system and the judges within it are working against them. And here's how I got there. Hazelton, Pennsylvania was a sleepy little Pennsylvania town, a population of about 2,300, and that was 7 years ago. Today, due to illegal immigration, Hazelton's population has risen by almost 50%, but the tax base hasn't increased along with it. That's weird. The city is at the point where it can't provide basic essential services to its citizens, let alone the new unwelcome residents. Hospitals, the fire department, police, all been stretched to their limit. Listen to the mayor of Hazelton explain it himself.
30% of the gang members we have arrested in Hazelton are illegal aliens. 30% of the drug arrests in the last 2 years are illegal aliens. I don't have a magic number that I need to convince me that I shouldn't be spending taxpayers' money on people who shouldn't be here.
Any system that is allowed to run unchecked will run out of control. And that is the current state of our national immigration, dare I say, policy. There are already an estimated 12 million illegal aliens living here in the U.S., and 500,000 more arrive each and every year. So cities like Hazelton have decided to take back their own streets by enacting tough legislation that would fine landlords who rented to illegals, punish employers who hired illegals. But last Thursday, it took a U.S. District Judge James Munley 206 pages to tell them exactly why they couldn't do it. In this decision, which is disgraceful, Judge Munley struck down Hazelton's Anti-Illegal Immigration Act because, quote, immigration is a national issue, and allowing states or local governments to legislate without regard to the employment of unauthorized aliens would interfere with congressional objectives. My gosh, I can hear the founding fathers dig their way out of the graves only to hang themselves. I hate to blow the judge's mind, but state and local government is what they had in mind, and curbing illegal immigration is already a congressional objective. That's why it's called a felony. In his ruling, Judge Munley didn't use the term illegal to describe these immigrants, but unauthorized. Wow, that's a great idea. I was thinking maybe we should start saying that bank robbers are just making unauthorized withdrawals. In order to protect these people, Munley also allowed his unauthorized immigrants to testify without revealing their identity and without even going to the courtroom. Welcome to the new double standard where you get more rights by not being a citizen. Judge, I'm sorry if you think Hazelton's common sense approach to law isn't fair to the illegals who want opportunities they don't deserve, or to businesses who want to skirt the law for cheap labor. But Hazelton is fighting for its very life, and you're on the wrong team, my friend. So tonight, here is what you need to know. In the last part of the ruling, Judge Munley said that Hazelton's legislation violates the rights the Constitution guarantees to every person in the United States, whether legal resident or not. Whew, there it is. A federal judge decided to interpret the law in favor of illegal immigrants against American citizens, in favor of lawbreakers instead of the law. I know justice is supposed to be blind. I just didn't know it was supposed to be stupid as well. Lou Barletta, he is the mayor of Hazelton, Pennsylvania. Mayor, I got to tell you, when I talked to you last Friday on my radio program, you blew my mind. What did the judge ask you while you were testifying about Mexico?
Well, actually, it was the ACLU's lawyer who asked me if, before I passed this law, if I called President Calderon to ask him to tell him what I was doing. I guess I should have gotten his okay before we considered passing this law. I thought it was a joke, but obviously he wasn't kidding, and the judge was paying attention.
And the judge, was it the judge that actually said that the government wants illegal aliens here in the United States?
The judge in his decision said that by passing this law, it would affect our relations with foreign nations, our foreign alliances. by passing this law. So, you know, it was, at the time, as I said, I thought they were joking, but they were very serious that we need to ask permission of other countries first and see how they feel about us enforcing our laws in our country and in our cities.
Mayor, this is what makes it so difficult in the South. I was just up in Detroit. It's also about economic now.
The population grew by 50% for more people with, I can no longer...
There are 100 towns like this, small town defender.
For anyone across the United States that wants to help Hazelton to continue our fight. We plan on appealing this to the Third Circuit Court in Philadelphia, and then on to the Supreme Court, where I believe this will prevail. But again, it will take money for us to continue that fight. The ACLU's goal is obviously to bankrupt the city in hopes that we'll roll over, but we're not going to back down and we're not going to roll over.
I mean, Mayor, it's only a matter of time. You either go bankrupt quickly by trying to defend this, or you go bankrupt slowly due to illegal immigration. Mayor, we'll stay in touch. Thank you very much. Now let me turn to Tom Fitton. He is the president of Judicial Watch, a conservative group dedicated to transparency in the judicial process. Tom, this ruling fairly transparent. Who is this judge?
Well, he's a Clinton appointee, which doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad judge, but when you read the ruling, you can see it was activist, it was liberal. The ruling is permeated with an attitude towards Hazelton that what it was doing was improper, that it had improper motives, that it was racist. And the judge, I think, misread the law. You know, the law allows, the federal law obviously regulates immigration. Hazelton isn't regulating immigration. What they're saying is that if you're here illegally, you're not going to get a business license, or if you're employing folks illegally, you're not going to get a business license, or you're not going to be allowed to rent in the locality. And there's nothing in federal law that contravenes that.
When did we start asking Mexico if we can enforce our laws?
Well, should a cop, when he pulls over someone and realizes they're an illegal immigrant, check with the Mexican embassy before arresting them?
Well,
because of the impact on international relations? The judge's reasoning there, I think, is bunk, and I would encourage the mayor to appeal this. I don't think it's going to withstand an appeal. We'll see. You know, let's take a step back here, though, Glenn. The ACLU came in here. They're using Hazelton as a test case. They want to go after every locality that tries these moderate approaches to enforcing our nation's immigration laws, protecting themselves from the ravages of the illegal immigration crisis. ACLU is going to take this court decision, go and threaten other localities, and other localities need to be shored up here and be told that the law is on their side. They should not be afraid of the ACLU, and they should do right by their citizens, not by the illegals.
I will tell you that until this is settled in the Supreme Court, you are going to have people that are scared witless. And that's why I put that in. If we could put it back up on the screen, that's why I put that website up there, smalltowndefenders.com. If you happen to be on the same side that I'm on, you know, that's where you should be pouring your money. If not, you can pour it to the ACLU, or what's the other special interest group? Puerto Rican Legal Defense Fund.
Right, the Mexican-American Legal Defense and Educational Fund. They're all over on these issues. And of course, they're not going after localities that are undermining and violating federal immigration law by subsidizing illegal immigrants.
Well, that's what I was going to say. New Haven, the deal with the Constitution is that you can expand, but it's contracting rights. So this ruling in Philadelphia doesn't affect New Haven, right?
No, and the federal government, under the federal court system, New Haven's governed by a different district. But what's happening is that some localities like Hazelton are taking an aggressive approach to illegal immigration by trying to restrict it. But New Haven and Los Angeles and big liberal cities, they're undermining federal law. Those are the big problems.
Tom, thank you very much. Wait.